An old man going a lone highway came at the evening, cold and gray, to a chasm, vast and wide and steep, with waters rolling cold and deep. The old man crossed in the twilight dim. The sullen streams had no fears for him, but he turned when safe on the other side and built a bridge to span the tide.
You know, to keep thinking boldly, keep thinking about a vision beyond where we are now. I go back, challenge us to do more, challenge us to go out and do broader things. And one more person who was at the Centennial Conclave who moved everybody was the mother of the brother who lost his life trying to help somebody, trying to live the cardinal principles.
Is that we don't want to fall back to the crowd. We want to keep moving so the crowd comes up to us in terms of standards.
Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo. Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo. It was no easy feat that Omega Psi Phi was established at Howard in the first place, because there was a hostile environment against fraternities and sororities in the first place.
I think our founding brothers would tell us to become more involved in our communities. And the reason I say that is that I think what we need to do is more outreach and support of the community activities, in the cultural, the social, the civic.
Old man, said a fellow pilgrim near, you're wasting your strength with building here. Your journey will end with the ending day. You'll never again will pass this way. You've crossed the chasm deep and wide. Why build you this bridge at eventide?
The fact with the chapter just being there, we hear a lot about the role model, male role model, and I think for the county and for the organization, Gum Springs, the other organizations, just with the brothers being there has been serving or fulfilling a part of that need for the black role model within the community. In fact, black or otherwise, just role models in the community. And I think that has been a big factor in the fraternities or the chapters' effectiveness across the community.
In the community, you have to start with the Gum Springs Community Center and that surrounding community in the Mount Vernon area that we've been working with since our inception. Young men have grown up under our tutelage in manhood programs, in Big Brother programs, in sports leagues that we at times fielded the teams, suited the teams, refereed the games, and served as the male role models for most of the young men.
The builder lifted his old gray head. Good friend, in the path I have come, he said, there followeth after me today a youth whose feet must pass this way. The chasm that was as not to me, to that fair-haired youth may a pitfall be. He too must cross in the twilight dim. Good friend, I am building this bridge for him.
Set the example for those young men, young brothers, but not only set the example, but get them involved so that they can get a feel for what's going on, how it's done, and how long it takes, what you have to do in order to get this accomplished. So the big thing is getting them involved.
I would say to them what I've said to every neo whenever I get the opportunity to meet them, and that is, it's up to you. You're a full Omega man. 5 minutes after you become one, as well as you are 50 years after you become one. It's what you would do with it. It's like in Members versus Men. It's what you do with your journey in Omega.
He is just as much an Omega man as the Grand Bosses himself.